All right.
All right. Hey guys, thank you for joining me on Their Fight Story. I have Tyler Pimental with us. Tyler, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank
Oh,
you.
spectacular.
How did you get involved into MMA?
I was a bouncer at a club in Fall River, Massachusetts, and the head bouncer there was a martial arts instructor. So the next day, he brought me to his gym. I thought I was a tough guy. He beat the crap out of me, and I stayed there for about 12 years.
Nice. And then at what point did you start coaching? Were you
I've
trained to fight or?
So there was a couple of times I was supposed to fight, or we talked about it. This was even before commission, but I'm I got injured. I blew my knee out one time. Just fluky things so I never did it. And I've always had that teacher's mentality, I guess you could say. Because I find there's a big difference between a fighter's mentality and an instructor's mentality. You have some people that can play that fine line and do both. I couldn't because my self-brought fears of embarrassing the gym, embarrassing. It was never me. I didn't care if I lost. It was always the fear of embarrassing my coaches, my gym. So I just tended to stay towards more of the instructing side. And I have I think, a pretty good way of dummying things down, if you will, and making them consumable by people that may have a tough time learning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I leaned more towards the teaching side than I did the fighting side, which some people say that's not good because you've never fought, so you never really know what it's like. But it's the path I chose, and I've been fortunate enough to train and get beat up by some really talented guys that kind of gives me the feeling of being in deep water, like a cage door is closed. I know it's not the same, but it's close.
Yeah, I don't really see it as a bad thing. I mean, it's always nice to be able to say, "Oh yeah, I was in the cage or the ring," but it's not like you're telling people what to do and you don't spar with them or you don't. You're basically doing every single thing with them. You're doing the whole fight camp. You're doing everything. You're just not walking into the cage and actually doing it.
Yeah. I believe the biggest difference between a coach and a fighter, to me, truly is the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I try to explain it like this. A fighter walks into the gym every day saying, I'm really sorry, but I got to kick your ass today because I got to get better. Where a coach walks in every day going, how can I get you the work you need without getting you hurt? Because an injured fighter is no good to me. Mm-hmm. If you can't get in the cage and perform, then I just trained you for no reason, really. As far as a fighter goes, I mean, teaching people that never intend to get in the cage, that's a different realm altogether. Mm-hmm. But as far as a fighter goes, your job is to work hard, get better, give out beatings. Mm-hmm. As a coach, your job is to sometimes take beatings and just make sure that they walk the path in the gym and make sure that every goal they have is met in the gym. And that's just my thought on that.
How many fighters do you train?
Right now, because of work and everything else, I don't specifically train a lot of guys. I have guys that if they need mitt work, and I say this to everybody, you want work? I'll give you my address, come to my house, I'll train you for free. I don't want money for it. Specifically, I have like Jimmy Manning, who he does a lot of mitt work with me because we live close by each other. I have other friends like JoJo will call me, hey, can you do some mitt work with me today? I can't make it to my gym, so I'll go there. Chris O'Brien, I've held mitts for. Jorgen, who was a former training partner and a great friend, whenever he needs work. I don't really coach guys anymore. I'm just the fat kid with the pads. That's about it nowadays. It's easier that way. There's no stress. I'll let their coaches worry about them fighting. I just get to sit and watch. It's nice.
Now, I heard you talking before about the difference between managers and agents.
Yes. So
I would like for you to kind of break it down for people who want to get into, being signed up as a fighter to actually do something, but how do they do it correctly?
I couldn't tell you the exact procedure. I can tell you what my thoughts are on what a manager is and what a agent is. In my thought process, the way I look at it is a manager is just that. He manages your life and your career. If you're with a company and they don't do anything to help you but get you contracts and sign you to contracts, then they're an agent. No different than in the NFL, they're called agents. Because they're not doing any work with you. All they're doing is going, hey, so-and-so just offered this much money. I think it's a good idea. Where I think a management company, they have lawyers that they deal with. They have accountants that they deal with. Now, if I have a manager, you're going to help me get my contract, but then you're going to go, hey, the accountant looked it over. This is how much money is going here. This is how much money is going there. This is what you're going to do with this. This is your schedule for interviews, for fighting, for training. A manager is going to help manage your life. Where I think an agent is more of just that. He's going to call you and go, hey, Cage Titans just called. They got a guy for, next month for this much money. Yes or no? Well, at that point, what do you need him for? Because I can call a Cage Titans or something like that. When you get to the bigger show, like the UFCs, the Bellators, PFLs, well, now are you looking for a manager / agent, whatever you want to call him at that point, who has pull and has clout? Like you have guys like Tyson Chartier, Ali. Those guys have multiple UFC fighters under their banner. So now it's time for you to get a contract. They can leverage your contract with someone else's contract and say, hey, give us a lump sum, which might help you out in the long run. They have pull and they hold weight in the business at that point. So now they're not just an agent. Now they're using their power, their strength in the business to help strengthen you as a person or you as an athlete. Where in the local shows, you really don't have managers. You have agents because coaches are agents. You got to talk to my coaches first, which is, I feel, the right way to do it. You're not talking about $30,000, $40,000 contracts. You're talking about a couple hundred, maybe $1,000. If you can't figure out the taxes on $1,000, maybe just give all the money to your mother and sit in the basement because it's not that big of a deal, It's not going to hurt you if you don't file that in your taxes. When you're in 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000, well, IRS might get a little pissed at you, and you need people that actually know what they're doing to help you through that. And that's when I think that fine line between agent and manager makes a difference. And each person's different. You might have guys that are really good with numbers. They go, I just want somebody to tell me what to do and when to do it so I can just focus on fighting. Then you have other guys that want to be involved in every bit of the process because that's what they feel is a professional. Well, at that point, you don't need an agent. You just need a lawyer to look at the contracts, which I think they're all pretty cookie cutter. So it depends on the person. I feel they're not really needed at the local level, but I'm sure as you get higher up and they start adding zeros to the end, they're needed.
When a matchmaker calls, who do they call? If they don't know if there's an agent or a manager, they just message the fighter directly, or
usually, and of course, my experience is with Mike.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, he's gonna call the team. He'll call the gym because he has rapport with all the coaches.
Okay.
And he'll just ask them, hey, I have some amateur slots open. Do you have any amateurs that are looking to get in? And he'll say, yeah, I got a 55 or a 45 or a 85er. And that's how they get their foot in the door. Very rarely will you see, and I don't know how it is with other promotions, will Mike call a fighter direct? The fighters are constantly calling Mike.
Yeah.
And that's different. If they call him, okay, yeah, I got this guy. But then they're going to go back and talk to their coaches anyways. So it's one of those things. Mike very rarely will reach directly out to fighters. He'll talk to their coaches because the fighter's going to talk to their coaches anyways about it, unless they're an independent. I'm sure like Rob Fuller, he just calls Rob Fuller because Rob manages his own career. But guys like JoJo, stuff like that. Yes, we're all friends. We all talk, but he still goes back to Bill Mahoney at South Shore before anything's definitive. You know what I mean? So for the most part, I'm pretty sure they go right to the coaches, and then the coaches might go, "Oh, hey, here's a manager involved. Get in contact with this person," and then it changes the dynamic a little bit.
You do a lot as far as in and out, because you're giving your knowledge, as well as when it's fight night, weigh-ins, you're off trying to set up the ring and make sure everything's in order. You know what I mean? So you're hands-on in every aspect of it that people may or may not know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal to me. It's time taken out of my life, but I don't really. I have a pretty boring life. I don't do too much. So
welcome to my world.
Yeah, I do it because I enjoy it. Honestly, yeah. I do love the sport. I wouldn't have been doing it for now going on 15 years, 16 years if I didn't love it. But I enjoy watching the young kids come up and I show them something and they go, "Holy crap, that's amazing." Like, to me, that's all the satisfaction I need. Everybody asks me, "How come you never thought about opening a gym?" Well, I don't want to be broke forever. That's the reason. I love all the gyms out there and they impress the shit out of me, some of them, but 99% of them, they're living paycheck to paycheck and struggling every day. And with this virus, it hasn't made it any better. So I enjoy working with the younger generation. I enjoy working with guys my own age if they want to work. I just enjoy the sport. Now, do I do it enough? No, because now I'm out of shape and guys go, "You want to spar?" And I go, "Absolutely not. I will hold mitts for you all day long, but you ain't punching me in the face." I don't have that in me anymore. Not now. If I get back in shape, I would be good, but not right now.
You have this time to get in shape.
No, I'm too lazy. I got no motivation because all the gyms are closed. Not the gyms. I shouldn't say the gyms, but it's just now being lazy for so long, it's getting back into a routine. That's the biggest problem. So, but what I do because I love it, not for any other reason. I'm not looking for fanfare. I get mad that Mike makes me wear a Cage Titans polo during the shows because now I can't cheer for the people. Huh?
Some people can call you out. Hey,
I get in trouble. Mike doesn't yell at me. Mike cuts me a lot of slack, but Brandy yells at me all the time because I'll get caught cheering for somebody else and it looks bad because I work for Cage Titans.
Yeah.
Now I have to sit there and I'll like cover the logo on the shirt or I'll go change shirts. I've done that before because I've like the night that I cornered Jimmy when he fought Fernando. Mm-hmm. I literally had to run in the back, switch my T-shirt to a regular T-shirt so that I could corner him because I didn't want to be wearing a Cage Titan shirt.
Yeah.
We have other organizations around that have been known to kind of do that, and that's not our style. So I have to be very conscious of what I'm wearing, who I'm rooting for.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's very difficult. Like there was a fight where I knew both fighters, and I can't say anything. I have to message them later on after it's over.
That's got to be super hard for you because now you're part of the family. You know all the fighters pretty much, and we all love you. So it's like you just got to be 100%. I'm just taking pictures of two guys fighting. I don't even know who they are because everybody knows you and loves you. It's got to be tough. I couldn't do it.
It is. It's horrible. It's just like because I can't have any expression.
Yeah.
I can't be happy for them. I can't be sad for them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, good job.
And even when there's like brutal knockouts, like really tough submissions, like blood, these people in a normal world, like most people, unlike us, you'd be like, "Oh my God, that's really bad." And instead you're like, "That blood's gonna look amazing in this photo."
No, I don't do that. Honestly, I make sure that the person is okay before I take a picture because I just feel horrible. I mean, I can't.
Should take the picture first. Just don't publish it if they're not okay.
No, I can't. That's not me. I wouldn't sit well with me. Just knowing, I would feel horrible. Like I was talking to Randy, and we were talking about when he knocked out that guy. Was it
Lewis? Yeah, Lewis.
Oh my God! I couldn't even take a picture. I needed to make sure that he was okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I just couldn't because I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm like, I'm not the main photographer, so nope, I'm good.
You know what? The craziest part about that whole thing is 99% of the fighters out there would be like, you didn't take a picture? Oh my God, you should have. I wanted to see what it looked like.
Yeah, no, it's not in me. I know people are like, you're in the wrong sport. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I love it, but I need to make sure that they're okay. It's just
the wrong sport because nobody does it better, honestly. We love having you there.
I love being there, and I love knowing that my stairs are secure.
I knew you were gonna say that. It's so funny. Everybody's like, "Hey, I'm gonna set that." I said, "Don't touch it. That's mine. I take care of that." The only one that I'll let help me is my big Mikey Da Silva, because Mikey knows how I am. I'm very particular about the cage. Like, it has to be set up a certain way. I have to check all the bolts before it's done. And then I have Big Mikey run me into every cage wall because I would rather it break with me than break with the fighters because I know I'm expecting it kind of thing. Granted, I'd still probably get hurt pretty bad, but I'm one of those people that if I'm willing to set it up for somebody else, I better be willing to receive the consequences if it fails. So I'm very particular about that stuff. And Mikey just goes on with it.
That thing really scared me. Like, I had one of the guys running from he was like in the back of the bleachers, and he's like, I saw everything. I felt it. I'm like, I'm not getting back up there. I'm like, there is nothing in the fine print that says I'm going to get injured. I'm sorry. I can shoot from down here. I'm like, I'm good. Safety first.
Right? No, great pictures first. Safety second.
No.
I'm kidding. Stop.
I mean, you might get a motion one where it's like going in the air, you know, but it's me while the fighters are still.
Why did you take a picture of the ceiling at Memorial Hall? That's weird.
Exactly, that's what would happen. Oh, jeez, memories. So, do you know when we're opening?
Right now, so from what Mike had said on Table Titans and from what I've heard from him is. So they're allowing professional sports leagues to function under their own kind of like bylaws and their own rules. So Mike is kind of saying, well, we are a league, so we can make our own laws or rules for professional sports, which would mean the amateurs would still kind of be shit out of luck for now. So he's trying to work that out. The problem is, the athletic commission said, okay, that's fine, but now they're not the last person they go to. Now it's got to keep going higher up the chain, sure, all the way to like Governor Baker or something like that. So it's tough. And Mike has tried. I mean, you know how Mike is. He's always looking for something. So he's asked around different options, different thoughts, and it's just tough because it doesn't matter where you go. Everybody's kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know, you got organizations like LFA and those bigger promotions that have the UFC's backing and help right now. So it works for them, but when everything's back to normal, then what? You know, Mike's got to look at the big picture, and I don't blame him for that. But he is doing the best he can. I know he's at every committee meeting, and he does a lot for the MMA community, a lot that people probably, a lot give him credit, but a lot don't. You know, they don't give him enough credit because I couldn't do what he does. I couldn't do it. I'd freak out. I'd lose it. You know, being at all the commission meetings, you know, taking time out of his life, and he's got like 50 kids. It's ridiculous. He just is a hustler, and I don't think he gets enough credit for the small things he does because he doesn't want it. It's all behind the scenes, you know.
You know what? Unfortunately, the way people are is they don't care.
Oh, of course not.
You know, they don't care. And it's just like, but if he doesn't do this, this won't happen. You know what I mean? Because he's the one running around nonstop throughout the fights, before, after, during. He's always go, 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 and nobody sees it.
I don't think people realize the week before a fight, he maybe will sleep 2 hours in the 2 days before a fight with everything that he does. Yeah. Like, that's why, honestly, I pick up the cage in the morning. I bring it, like, the trailer and do all that stuff because he can't deal with that stuff. And we have really, really good people in place to lighten the load for him.
Yeah.
But he's also he's a perfectionist.
Of course.
So we lighten the load, but he still takes the load back on.
Exactly.
Picky. And we give him shit for that, but I can't blame him. That's his, that's one of his children. Cage Titans is one of his kids. Yeah. So I guess he's got 51. Nah, he's got 4, 5.
He has more than one.
It's 5. But yeah, so it's a crazy ride we're all on. That's for sure. We have fun doing it though.
Yeah, we do. Tyler, thank you for your time. Is there anything you want to say before we stop?
I hate coronavirus. It's stupid.
I thought you were going to say, I hate you. I was going to be like, whoa.
I love you. I would never say that while the camera was on. Nah, it was great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.